Belcher, and I'm going to be reading 2 poems and 1 part of my fiction story for creative writing. The first poem I'm going to read is called Home, and it's about a house that I had actually walked through years and years ago, and I was just, the outside of the house I loved. It was an old Victorian, and when we walked through the inside, it was just dilapidated. There was water damage, there were mice living in it, squirrels, and it just made me think of all the people that lived in this house for generations and where they were and what it looked like and the care that was put into making this house a home. And it just felt really sad and kind of lonely. So this is my poem. It's called Home. Sunlight through cracked windows catches dust on the panes, prim white curtains now yellow and stained, flowered wallpaper peeling off walls once strong, crumbling to earth where no one belongs. Weeds cover a stone walkway that leads to a door that once unlocked and held so much more. Generations of family who have now said goodbye. The emptiness, the loneliness of this place makes an audible sigh. A swing set out back, covered in rust, once relished by children who are now but dust. The silence is louder than any voice of those who had dwelt in this house by choice. The emptiness is painful if houses could feel of what has vanished and what once was real. And then my second story is called Time, and it's about losing somebody. Not only losing somebody, but sitting by someone that you love that's passing away. And the inspiration came from losing my own mom, who I had lost suddenly, but was able to sit with my grandmother when she passed away. And just working in a hospital and seeing people all the time sitting with their family members, and you just look at their faces and you wonder, some of them are so heavily lined, and just the stories they could tell and who they were and what they were like. So it says, so this is Time. The lines on your face tell a story of time. Rivers and valleys all align. Around eyes that are dim and a mouth with no voice, each carefully carved out by life, not choice. Gray hair on your head that once stood tall, now rests upon a body translucent and small. Where is the woman who once was so full of life? Could this be you? I must look twice. Your strong arms once held me, now I hold you back. Powerless to move, it is strength that you lack. I hold your hand gently, fearing it will break, frightened of the day that you will not wake. If I tell you I love you, what will you hear? The younger you loved, or the older who fears that being apart is too much to bear? If I could plead with angels to give you more time, I would not ask for a miracle or even a sign. Just a minute to whisper, I'll miss you, my friend. Lay my wet cheek on yours and wait for the end. As you lie still this side of heaven, angels wait no more. They've come to carry you through perpetuity's door. So, those are my 2 stories. And my fiction paper is called Superman. It's about a little boy named Owen who could not pronounce his name when he was young, so his family calls him O. The little boy does not have a father. Well, has a father, but the father's not involved, so it's just the mom and the mom's father, who's papa to the little boy, and their dog Gus. And the girl's mom passed away a few years ago. Owen is supposed to start school. He's supposed to start kindergarten. His mom's a teacher, and he's going to be in the same school as her, and they're really excited. But Owen is fascinated with Superman, and the mom finds out, comes to a realization that the reason that he's so fascinated with Superman is because it filled a void in his life that should have been where his father was. Owen always wears a red, natty baby blanket tied around his neck, and the mom is so worried that he's going to want to wear this the first day of school. So, Owen also loves this song by Five for Fighting called Superman, and she has to play it over and over again whenever they're in the car, and she's just amazed that the CD still works. So Owen has a fall, hurts his head, and they didn't think anything of it, but started getting sick and was at the zoo with his papa. And when his papa brought him home, he didn't look good, so the mom carried him into the bathroom where he started getting sick. So she brought him to the hospital just to be safe, and then they found out that he had a brain tumor. So I just want to start off where they're sitting in the doctor's office. They've gone through all of their tests, and they realize that Owen has a malignant brain tumor that's incurable. And so I'm going to just start with that. So the mom and the girl's husband, father are sitting listening to the doctor, and she just can't believe what she's hearing, that her baby is got an incurable brain tumor. So I'm just going to stop there. So Owen was diagnosed with an aggressive malignant brain tumor that starts at the brainstem. The brainstem is where all the body's vital functions originate. No cure, a death sentence without any chance of a pardon. We decided to try radiation to help shrink some of the tumor for comfort only. We took Owen home and waited for radiation to begin. Gus must have had some keen sense of what was invading Owen's body. He left his side only to do his doggy business. What should have been kindergarten pictures proudly displayed on my refrigerator. People with little hands, big arms, and legs, everyone smiling, was replaced with appointment cards and prescriptions. Owen would lay wrapped up in blankets, appearing to get smaller and smaller every day. Dad and I became the masters of deceptions when talking with Owen. Smiles too big, voices just a little too cheery. Dad's strong, handsome face now had deep lines, and his blue eyes constantly moist and red. Radiation treatment did not go well. Owen's hair had fallen out in painful patches, leaving burns, his face swollen from steroids, and a body as frail as a hummingbird. Was this treatment making a difference or making it worse? Owen was sitting on Papa's lap. They read stories of faraway places, animals that could talk, and cars that could fly. Every story had a happy ending. I hated those stories. They rocked and read, Dad's big arms wrapped around Owen, his voice changing to fit characters in the story, making Owen laugh. Owen with his red cape on, his Superman slippers, and only God knows where Dad found a Superman blanket. Owen saw me come into the room and gave me a big smile. How is it that watching my son fade away I had strength, that O's smile did me in? I knew I could not break down. I smiled back. Hey, O, want something to eat? I asked, surprised that my voice was steady. No, Mama, can I go outside and fly? That was all Papa needed to hear. He scooped Owen up in one fell swoop, wrapped in his blanket, went outside, and ran around the yard like there was no tomorrow. Owen giggled his sweet little boy giggle, trying to get his papa to run faster. Even Gus had a hard time keeping up. For a moment, I could see the face of my 5-year-old. No swelling, no sickness, only a little boy enjoying the moment with his papa, pretending he could fly. I know that the day was beautiful. The sky was probably blue with big white puffy clouds, but why did I only see in black and white? I didn't have to make the decision to stop treatment. Radiation was not keeping this poisonous spider from spinning its web. There was no other option. That night I remember picking up strands of Owen's baby-fine hair from his pillow and putting them in a bag. He tired more easily, no more running. I tucked him in bed and sat by his bedside. Mama, I love you and Papa and Gus, he said, his voice barely a whisper. Will you sing Superman for me? Sure, O, and proceeded to sing until he fell asleep. I took his red cape and walked outside. I sat on the back porch and held his cape to my face, inhaling deeply, crying for what seemed like hours, afraid the tears would never stop. Owen didn't get out of bed after that night. I crawled into bed with him, like I had done every night since he first got sick. I held him close to my chest. I could feel his little heart beating so fast, and kissed the top of his head as if trying to heal the burns on his scalp. Dad sleeping in a recliner on the other side of his O, and Gus at his feet. Soldiers on watch, trying to protect a most precious possession from an unseen enemy. They say that a person's life flashes in front of them before their eyes in near-death experiences. It was not my life that I saw, laying in the dark, holding tight to my son. It was Owen's life, or the life he would never have. His first day of school, driving a car, falling in love, his first kiss, his first everything. So that's when, I must have fallen asleep. The bed was shaking. Mummy, Mummy. I was immediately awake. What is it, O? Are you in pain? No. Owen laughed. Gus was standing on the end of the bed, wagging his tail furiously, shaking the entire bed. Owen put his tiny hand on my cheek. How cold it felt. He turned so that we were eye to eye. What is it, O? And I'm going to leave it right there because my battery's running low. But the story was actually inspired by, well, not really inspired, but just watching the St. Jude's commercials. I always wondered about those kids and their families and how strong they are. And I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning, this song that Owen loved was Five for Fighting, Superman. And the mother was just amazed that the CD still worked. So that's my story. I'm going to run, my battery's going to die, and just thank you for this class. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's presentations. Thanks. Bye.